It's hard if your wife isn't happy with you to feel good when you come home. You could feel great from your work, come home, and then she's saying, you forgot to bring home the milk and you didn't do this and you should have done that. And that floor, you left your shoes in front of the TV set. Do you think I'm supposed to like clean up after you all the time? All these messages just knock a man down. And as opposed to if he does leave his socks in front of the TV set or shoe and you don't want to pick up after him, don't pick up after him. Let it sit there for a few days and say, oh, honey, would you pick up your shoes and help me clean up this room? And he'll pick up the shoes. And I'm laughing because I'm remembering when I used to leave T-shirts in front of my T-shirt drawer. I take off my T-shirt and I pull another one out. Okay, so that was, T-shirt would be on the floor. I didn't think to put it in the hamper, which was only in a closet next to that. So finally, Bonnie said, you always leave your T-shirts on the floor. Can't you remember? I said, I'll try. But it was a negative message. Men forget negative messages. We remember positive messages. So I said to her, I said, honey, just let the pile get big enough. And then I'll see it, remember it, and I'll put it in the hamper. Well, it was really hard for her to do that. She says, it's not
going to let the pile get big enough.
The pile gets bigger. So then what she did, as I said, then if you notice the pile and I'm at any stage and I'm in the room, it's fine to ask for my help. Just say, John, would you help me clean up the room and put your T-shirts in the hamper? Now look at the wisdom of it. Would you pick up? So she did this on another day. She basically said, oh, John, would you help me clean up the room and pick up and put your T-shirts in the hamper? Now she had already cleaned up the bedroom. Okay. And as part of why I love her, she love-hate to a certain extent, which is, she had to have everything beautiful in the house and I'm kind of messy, but we worked that through. And this is part of how we did it, which was she, instead of complaining, which I don't want to complain, you forgot again. Instead, what she did, she waited for a little pile to get there. And then she said, oh, John, would you help me clean up the room? Again, a request for help. Man, well, I'll help you. And then she simply said, would you put your T-shirts in the hamper? And then she didn't say, you forgot to do it. It's only 2 feet away. Why can't you remember? It's not a big deal. Can't you just do this if you love me? None of that stuff. She just said, oh, would you help me clean up the room and move your T-shirts into the hamper? And I said, sure. And I put T-shirts in the hamper. And then she took a deep breath. Now look how beautiful the room is. And I went, yes, I did that. I took credit for cleaning the whole room. Okay. So, and women would think, oh, that's so generous of her. Yes, but it's so wise of her. It didn't motivate. Within a couple of times, she did a couple of times. After that, she never had to do it again. And then later on, I would pick up her stuff. And of course, I said, did you notice I picked up your head? I want a little credit for it. But it was so sweet how to approach a man in a way that always makes him feel he's helping you. You're not judging him based on the past. He hasn't failed you 15 times before. What a nuisance he is. And I know you have these feelings inside. They build up. Don't share them with him. Okay. First of all, they won't build up if you feel I can ask for what I want. And you start with little things, then you get to bigger things. Then you also have to recognize you're on your male side. You're pushing down your female side all day to a certain extent, various degrees for different women. So when you come home from time to time in the beginning, you do what my feeling letter process. You go through, write out on a piece of paper. This is work. You have to do some work on yourself instead of expecting everything from him. Write out what you're frustrated about during the day. And you use the phrase, I feel frustrated. And you're exploring what frustrates me, what's not working for me. And then I feel disappointed. And then you look at what's feeling disappointed about, because life is never everything you want, right? So,
right.
Treatment. And sometimes when you start feeling disappointment, you might also feel sad and you write out what you feel sad about. But it's starting with just disappointment, because if you're on your male side, it's not easy to go to your feeling sad. It's easy to go to disappointment, though. It's easy to go to frustration. And then with frustration, you might go a little deeper into, I'm angry that he said this and he didn't do this. So frustration, disappointment, then my concerns. What are some of my concerns? It's just doing a little inventory. See, these are emotions inside of us that you can get to your female side, they're concerned, and writing out a few concerns, then you'll be able to click into, and I'm afraid this isn't going to happen. I'm afraid this is going to happen. Write out your fears and then write out what you're embarrassed about. And you can always, every day, if you're getting older, I'm embarrassed, my clothes don't fit. It's a simple thing, if that's what you feel. But if you feel no embarrassment in your life, you're kidding yourself, because we're all flawed human beings and we want to be better. And it only brings you back to that vulnerable part that wants to be better. So I feel embarrassed about this. And what I would really like, write out what I wish, write out what I want, then write out what I'm grateful for, write out what I'm happy about, write out what I feel confident about, and write out what I'm proud of. You see, you are processing yourself. You're going from your negative emotions to your positive emotions. With practice, now you can do the same exercise with him. It's a major estrogen stimulator, which is you basically say, oh, honey, I'm so happy to talk to you. Glad you're home. He says, okay, what did I do right? Or what can I do? It's just, I just want to tell you about my day. I just need to talk about for a few minutes because I was really frustrated about something. Would you listen to me for 5 minutes? That's it. Would you listen to me? If I get it out, I'll feel better. You have to say that. And you say, it's not a big deal, but if I get it out, remember, if you say to a man, it's not a big deal, he'll relax and hear whatever you have to say. As soon as you say it's a big deal, or he thinks you're saying it's a big deal, he just goes, why is it a big deal? And wants to push it down. But you just say, sometimes I just need to talk about this. It just makes me feel better. If you're married, you could say, it makes me feel closer to you. But you really don't have to say anything. And I prefer you don't say anything because I just need to have you listen, hear it, and I'm done. You'll see, I go from positive to negative. I go from negative to positive. It just helps me. So would you take a few minutes to listen? You don't have to say anything. Don't do anything. Just hear me out, and then I'll feel closer to you. And he might not understand this. You just say, why do you think 90% of the people who go to therapists are women? They just want to talk because when they talk, they make female hormones. So just let me talk for 5 minutes. You just be present. That's all. And then afterwards, you say, oh, I must feel good. I feel happy. I get to be with you, and go in for a hug and say, thanks for listening, and then go into another room. So he doesn't feel like he has to talk or you think he has to say some magic word because you're upset. There is a magic word that men can say, but they're not listening to this talk. But what I say is, instead of my brain wants to give all these solutions of why you shouldn't be upset about these things. They're little things. It's no big deal. That's why you say to them in the beginning, it's no big deal. Men always want to tell you it's no big deal. So you already said it, so you didn't need to say that. He had nothing to say then. But he's still going to think you could look at things differently, his way of looking at it. So to avoid that, you go out of the room. And if you're a man listening to my message, there is something you can say, which is help me understand that better.
Yeah, the woman's going to love that.
Yes, it's magic. Help me understand that better. Tell me more.
Yeah, I'm not even telling you anything. Just having you say that made me feel good.
It's so good. It's so good. And then when she seems to be done, what else? Women have so much in there that come up. It's surprising that there's more. So this is a dance that men can learn, but women can also just take the initiative of asking for help and getting what they need. That's female power. That's your empowerment. Is I don't have to do it all. What do I need? How do I get it? One is you teach him how to listen. Next is you reveal to him your insecurities. And you're going to say, now this is after you're dating for a while. You want to keep that passion because it could be gone. If he's like doing porn or he's ejaculating a lot or you had a whole bunch of sex, he's going to lose interest in you pretty quick because it's too much estrogen. He needs to rebuild his testosterone. He needs to pull away to rebuild his testosterone. And look at me. I do sex all the time at 72. I can do it more than once or once every 10 days, whatever. It takes a little longer for men to recover because I've learned how to have sex without ejaculating. So I'm always in the mood and I'm always connected to her. It never disconnects. But that takes a lot of maturity and new knowledge and skills to do that. But you just don't want to push too much sex. That's the message I'm giving. And if you do have too much sex, he's going to need time to go to his cave to recover. And I just going on this little vacation for 4 days, just with her all the time, caring for her all the time, having a good time. I came home and I realized, I'm not feeling my normal attraction for her. Where did it go? I said, I just need cave time. So I told her, I'm just going to watch 2 movies and the news on TV tonight. And you just do what you need to do. And after I had all that, then suddenly I just felt it. Once I got my cave time, my testosterone came back up and I wanted to have sex with her. But before that, I did not want to have sex with her. Men need distance to want to connect. If you don't have distance. So part of the distance is if she's more feminine, I'm more masculine, that's polarity. Then you will have that attraction. Even though you have all of this for the man, even though you have all this female hormone that takes away your desire for sex, it's the polarity that can create it. 30 years you've been with my wife, always open to having sex. And very important, if I wasn't practicing orgasm while ejaculation, then we don't have too much sex. There's always at least a week in between. And then we go on a vacation. Yeah, we can indulge in all that, but then he's going to need time to recover. So now you went on this hot date with him. He's connecting with you. He's feeling a lot of affection towards you. He needs to pull back. That's Mars, Venus. 101, Men Are From Mars, he has the rubber band. He needs distance to find his affection for you, to have his desire to connect back to his female side, which is what you are. However, if he goes off to porn, then he doesn't ever feel that need to come close to you. So that's one of the challenges women have today. So you want to at least don't spend a lot of time with him. Don't have long conversations with him. Don't have a lot of connection with him. A little bit, feel good. And then you have to force the distance with him. That will always make him desire more for you.